Tate, Area 51. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if this video doesn't get flagged by YouTube, then everything I talk about is not really going to be that valuable, because it means that it's gotten out to the public and now everyone's going to use the strategy. So, that being said, the Men in Black came to my house, they wiped my mind, and I could only write one more letter to myself or watch this one video of everything that I've learned on my journey. Here's the full day plan and the regimen that I would follow to relearn my SMMA and get it to the point that I am right now. So the first place that we're going to visit is the two men who practice different training regimens. And let's say these guys are sworn enemies for whatever reason, and in a few years' time, they're going to go to a mountaintop and they're going to fight each other. One man follows the training regimen of finding 10,000 different kicks and throwing each of them once. And the other man, he practices one kick, but he does it 10,000 times. They threw the exact same amount of kicks, put the exact same amount of energy in. But when those two men fought, the guy who practiced the one kick 10,000 times threw it, and he killed the other guy in Mortal Kombat. And it's the exact same thing with your agency. If you practice the same thing over and over and over and over again and over again, you're going to get a lot better. I'll talk about this later. But the key point is that if you can follow the same thing over and over and build and compound your skills, you're going to be better off than the guy who doesn't. Step 2 is going to be a common trait among 8-figure entrepreneurs, which is speed. You see, you got my friend Sonic over here, because that is really a very strong tribute and a very strong character trait to actually have. My friend who went to an 8-figure mastermind when he was only, a 7-figure entrepreneur, he went there and he realized a bunch of these guys, they weren't that special of human beings. They all had problems. They all had these common things that everyday humans deal with. But the one thing that wasn't human, the one thing that wasn't normal about them was the speed at which they executed. They would make a plan that they set out for 2 months, and then they would find a way to reduce that plan into 1 month's time to execute. So let's say they want to start an agency in 1 month. They got all the things they need to do, niche, outreach, cold email, whatever they want to follow, and they'd find a way to do that in 1 week. And they would be so fast, they'd execute so quickly, and because of that, they would get results a lot faster. And it doesn't mean that they're going to see any more success or less success than you, but they just get to try more things more often than you. And that is why they can win quickly. So that's the one thing and the first thing I tell myself. Second thing is going to be the only things you need are a niche, social profile, and outreach. And it really is that simple to start. Yes, you're going to need to learn service delivery. Yes, you're going to need to get VAs at a certain point in time. But when you're first starting, the 3 things that you really only need are going to be these. And if you can get these down and you can get these dialed, and like the man who practiced 10,000 or the one kick 10,000 times, just go over and over and over again, practicing with your outreach, you are going to be better off than the guy who tries the 10,000 different kicks of VA, AI, and all the other stuff if you just find your one kick and you practice it as many times as you can. Next thing I tell myself is that you only need to learn service delivery when you need to deliver service. So this is a story about me, honestly, because when I first started, before I had my mind wiped, I really did try to learn service delivery. I watched a 7-hour course all the way through, and because I was so scared of running ads, I tried to do everything in my power to learn them without actually going to the ads manager, without actually running them myself. And needless to say, all learning, everything that I consumed, everything that I'd watched up until that point became utterly useless when I actually hopped into the ads manager, because it's all theory, right? It's like the same thing of if you disagree and the reason you're watching this video is because you don't want to go to university or college, you should not be trying to learn service delivery before you do it, because it's the same thing of getting a degree in business, right? You can learn how to make a business plan, you can learn how to do your taxes, you can learn how to make the perfect corporate structure, but it doesn't mean jack when you actually have to start it. So it's the exact same. If you don't plan to go to college and you don't like the modern education system, you should not be trying to learn service delivery before you need to. Step number 4 is going to be why watching Messi won't help your agency. And if you're, a soccer player, maybe not an agency, and you want to learn how to be the best in the world, similar to Messi or Ronaldo, you should not be the guy who's sitting there watching their film all day. Because as much as you can watch Messi and you can see everything he does and it's completely out there, it's completely public in view, watching him is never actually going to equate to the results that he gets. And it's the exact same thing as your service delivery. You are never going to be the best media buyer if you do not, deliver ads, and you're not going to be the best outreacher if you do not send messages. And it's the exact same thing. So do not try and be on the sidelines, just get in the game. Next thing is going to be KPIs to hit. So to do a little roundup of everything we have so far, if you find your one kick you can practice 10,000 times And along with that, you actually get the 3 bare bones strategies you're going to do, and you just go over and over again, and you follow the 8-figure trait of the entrepreneurs, which is going to be speed. And you follow these KPIs of sending 100 messages out per day, no matter what, no excuses, and you try to respond to people as quickly as possible every single day. You will get your first client and you will make progress. The future me that is brain wiped, because you are always the problem. I talked about this in my last video. Every guru, including me, our systems work, right? The reason why we're here, the reason why you're listening to me right now is because I have some form of track record, I have some form of credibility. And it's the exact same with everybody else you're watching. Nobody is a scammer because all their systems work and you are going to be the problem. The reason why you haven't seen success and you tried maybe Joel's, Iman's, mine, you haven't had any results so far is because you're trying 10,000 kicks. And the guy who picked his one kick and practiced it 10,000 times is going to beat the living crap out of you. So it's the exact same thing. Whenever you run into a problem or you think, hey, my system's not good, something's going wrong, you have to go back and you have to remember that the real underlying reason behind why things aren't going the way that you planned them to is just because you are not the person who is ready and who has practiced enough to actually receive the results just yet. Moving forward, the morning routine that I would follow. So no, I wouldn't wake up, meditate, affirmation, shower, do squats, try and play the flute, whatever it might be. I wouldn't do any of it. And no shade to the people that do it, but I think that when you stigmatize what you need to do, as you can see here, morning ritual, when you don't follow that ritual, if you're less productive, you are handicapping yourself. So the outreach and the morning routine that I would follow is as follows. I would wake up, I would do outreach, I'd go to the gym, I would sleep, and then I'd repeat. And I'd do this, and I'd practice this one kick. This is your kick. And you're going to throw this as many times as you can, over and over and over again, as quickly as you can, and you're not going to watch from the sidelines. And if you do that, you will see results. And if you do that, my friend, you will win. And the very, very last thing that I will say is if I did get my mind wiped and all this really did happen, I would go ahead and follow these steps, because if you can actually commit to these things. I know it was simple. I know it was bare bones. I know it was basic. I really do. I understand that this is not exactly what, everyone says, and it's not the new outreach system. It's not that. But if you can follow this, you will receive results. And I hope that the 7 minutes or the 8 minutes that I stole from you was worth the value that I provided. And I'll see you guys in the next one.